Are you a creative person? What does it even mean, creative person? A person who creates something? I'm not a creative person or an artist. I don't paint, I don't write poems or stories or anything another person want to read. I don't know photography, filmmaking, pottery, crafting. Ha, even my doodles are straight lines. Do you think of yourself the same? Then you should continue watching this. The creative adult is the child who survived. Ursula leguin. 85% of men and women interviewed for a research can remember a story from school that was so shaming it changed how they thought themselves as learners. 50% of their stories are around creativity, writing, or art. You give a child some crayons and a paper, he or she will draw something and proudly show it back to you. It could be just lines, circles, or some scribbles, but that child is so proud that he can do it. We all were that child once. Every person on this earth has a right to be creative. You don't have to become a creative person, you already are. It's not something only some of us have blessed with. It is in our nature to make things, create things that are not only necessary but are beautiful or just for the sake of creating. I agree, being creative is not essential to survive in this world, but it is necessary for us to live our fullest in this world. Unused creativity metastasizes and change into grief, shame, and judgment. Brené Brown. The book which made me make this video is Big Magic by Elizebeth Gilbert. I would include lots of quotes from the book because not only they don't need explanations, but they are perfectly put. If it's not for that book, I wouldn't have started this channel. In that, Elizabeth Gilbert says, give your mind a job to do, or else it will find a job to do, and you might not like the job it invents. Eating the couch, digging a hole through the living room, biting the mailman, etc. If I'm not actively creating something, then I'm probably actively destroying something. Myself, a relationship, or my own peace of mind. First, let's try to understand what's meant by creativity and creative living. Creativity is the relationship between human beings and the mysteries of inspiration. Inspiration is the idea that comes to you when you are curious about something. You are not curious about anything? Well, that can't be true. If you have a child, you might have noticed how curious a child is about everything happens around him. Somewhere in our way to becoming adults, we have stopped listening to our curious minds. Ideas come to us and inspire us not as big announcements, but in whispers. Every day when you are curious about something, inspiration tries to get your attention. Shall we do this? And you can say no. You can say let's try it later. Or you can commit to do it. It's your choice. Creative living is a life driven by curiosity than fear. Creative living is not giving up your job and becoming a writer or writing poems, painting, creating music, and making films, etc. When an inspiration is trying to get your attention, with it comes the fear and self-doubt. Creative living is you are open to new ideas and inspiration, and when an inspiration comes to you, you listen to it, you consider it, and you choose curiosity over your fear and self-doubt. It's like when you are cooking, you get an inspiration to try something new to the recipe you are already making. You give in to your curiosity and try it. It's that when you visit your cousin's place, you see that she grows her own vegetables. You always wanted to grow your own vegetables. Rather than dismissing yourself saying that it won't work for me, what do I know about plants? You open up to curiosity and try it. You don't have to do it everything you are curious about. But most of the time, when you choose curiosity over your fears of not succeeding, that's when you live your creative life. Just because someone didn't value our work in our childhood or somewhere along the way. By labeling ourselves as uncreative people, we are killing our curiosity and artistic intuition. Do you really know who you are? Have you ever tried to give in to your curiosity? You are entitled at least try. Just ask yourself, when is the last time you felt truly alive, joyous, and yes, creative on your own skin? It could be a sport you enjoyed, or a meal you made, or when decorating your house in a way you wanted. You don't have to go and be the champion of that sport or start your own Etsy shop. Just do it more often so you can be joyous and feel that you are truly alive. Because if that's the only and the best way you can access to certain beauty of your life, you have to spend much time as possible in that state of life. That's all. I'm not asking you to embrace creativity, to earn money, or to be famous. Just make things because it interests you. Make things because you like to make and enjoy making it. Surely there'll be something you want to do. When you do what interests you, you will be in a state of play where you don't realize the time passing by. Elizabeth Gilbert says, we all need an activity that is beyond mundane, that takes us out of our established and limited roles in our society. Mother, employee, neighbor, brother, boss, etc. We all need something that helps us forget ourselves for a while, to momentarily forget our age, gender, social economic background, our duties, our failure, and all that we have lost and screwed up, and need something that takes us so far out of ourselves that we forget to eat, forget to pee, forget to mow the lawn, forget to resent our enemies, forget to brood over our insecurities. So, do it for you. Don't do it in the name of helping others. Do it for yourself because you like it. You love to do it. There are 4 words you have to understand. The first word is hobby. Hobby is what you do purely for your pleasure. Stakes are 0. You don't have to make money from your hobby. You don't have to be famous from your hobby. No one has to know anything about your hobby. You don't have to have a hobby, but it's a nice thing to have. You can start doing your creativity as a hobby. The second word is job. This is the work you do to get a pay. There's a contract and you have to pay the bills and you have to take care of yourself unless you have someone else to take care of yourself. Don't burden your creativity to pay your bills because it doesn't work for everyone like that. If it works for you, that's great. But when you demand your creativity to pay your bills, if it didn't work, you just start to resent it. Living your creative life is gonna make you happy and curious and fulfilled. Don't demand more than that from your creativity. All the people who are famous for creativity has had a day job before they become famous. So have a job. It doesn't have to be awesome or joyful. It's just a contract. You do what you have to do and they pay what they promise. Your job doesn't have to be your whole life. Your life is outside of your job. The third word is career. This is a job you are passionate about and that you love. It's something you are willing to make sacrifices for and you are willing to do extra hours because you believe in the mission of what your career is. If you are in a career right now that you hate, that's a problem. If so, quit your career and do a job. This you don't have to have. It's not necessary to have a career. So if you love your career, do it. Otherwise, there's no point. The fourth word is vocation. This is a calling, a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or a job. This is the highest possible pursuit that you can do. Nobody can give it to you or take it from you. Your job and career can be taken away from you. But this is a commitment you want to do for the rest of your life because you love it. If you have a vocation, something you always wanted to do and you always love to do, you should pursue it. You can do it while having a job and having other creative hobbies too. But if you have a vocation, you don't have to have it. But if you have it and you are not doing it because you have a job, then you are a bit lazy. Because here's the thing, if you didn't find time for your vocation, you are gonna regret it always. and not gonna live to your fullest.